ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तालयै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय भक्ताय नमो नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुवरं श्रीरूपानुगुरुवरं रघुवंशसीनं श्रीगुरुचरणं वन्दे रमणपृष्ठाय बुद्धवे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर जय रूप सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ श्री जीव भाव भक्त दास हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम। First of all, I offer my Shastanga Dhanavad pranams and those people are spiritual masters. Nitlai Shri Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayana Samvat Shri Rai Ramananda Samvat and all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas present. So continuing to read from Rai Ramananda Samvat. Hey, where we stopped last time? Hey? Don't know where we stopped? No? No, nothing? Hey, gopis. Gopis love. At least something you said, okay, I'm happy. Now, we stopped at the beginning of Gopi's love. Because here, we see that Mahaprabhu, when Rai Ramananda said, when he spoke about Prema Bhakti, then Mahaprabhu said, Eho hoi, aage kaho va. Means, he said, alright. He says, alright, now you speak something more. So now he's going to speak on Prema Bhakti. So now especially, he's going to speak on this verse, which is like one of the most famous verses of Rupa Goswami's Bhaktivedanta Giri Maharaj. You know that verse, Tirthraj? No, not that one, the other one. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati. This is a very important verse. Tatra Lome Mukmulya Mekalam Janma Koti Sukritai Namaste. What is the meaning? Purchase it without delay. Like here it says, no. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati Kritam Yadikutopi Lapyate Tatra Laulyam Apimulyam Mekalam Janma Koti Sukritai Namaste. Means, if that consciousness which is suffused with Krishna Bhakti Ras, if it is available anywhere, then immediately purchase it without delay. Here it's being said. So we'll read the commentary. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this type of devotion, where the heart is soaked in Krishna Bhakti Rasa, has only one price, and that price is greed. Greed is the only thing. Like the example is given, like if a person, he's saying, like if a dog, if a dog is seeing some person eating a rasgulla, what will the person do? When he's eating that rasgulla, he'll take that cup and he'll throw it away. And there's a dog nearby, and what will the dog do? It will go lick, but it has greed to eat that rasgulla. Similarly, like Gurudev used to give an example, that there's a very poor man in England, a very poor, destitute man. So he wants to marry the Queen of England, or the Princess of England. She is beyond his adhikar, but still he wants to marry her. Not Elizabeth, Diana. So he wants to marry her, but still she's beyond his adhikar. But still in his heart he's thinking, I want to marry her. So what is the harm? Similarly here, even if this is beyond our adhikar, saying, oh, I want to serve Sri Radha and Krishna as their Manjari. I want to serve Radha and Krishna as their maid servant. This is much beyond the Radhika. We cannot even think of this. We cannot even conceive of this. But still, if you have greed, you can have it. And anyhow, hook or crook, do or die. Where there's a will, there's a way. I must have this. And surely you'll have it. Why not? What is stopping you from having it? Only time is stopping you from having it. So therefore, this is that consciousness which is suffused with that Krishna Bhakti Ras. Like you see, there's a Rasgulla. If you squeeze that Rasgulla, you'll see rus will come out from all these Rasgulla. Squeeze it, rus will come out. Similarly, this Krishna Bhakti Ras is such that the mind is so much infused with this Bhakti Rasa that everywhere he will only see the entire world as Krishnamaya. Means he'll see the entire world as being suffused with this Krishna consciousness. So this is the stage of Mahabharata. So Bhakti is of two types. The first is Shastra Avadharanamayi Vaidhi Bhakti. The path of Bhakti that is inspired by the governing principles of the scriptures. And the second is Lok Mulak Raganuga Bhakti. Means devotion impelled by greed to follow the loving sentiments of the Vrajavasis. So in the first kind of Bhakti, there is the Shastra Avadharanamayi Vaidhi Bhakti. Means this is faith characterized by adherence to the scriptures, by faith in the scriptures. Like one will say, if I don't follow the scriptures, if I don't worship Vishnu, Sri Hari, then I might have to go to hell. So I'll have to follow. Like we say, Ajamil, he did not follow any of the Shastras, he didn't do anything. But still, Ante Narayana Smriti, when he was about to die, he remembered Narayana. And what happened? The Yamadutas came. And the Yamadutas came, because he remembered his son and he addressed him by the name Narayana, the Vishnudutas took him. They chased the Yamadutas away, and then he went to Haridwar, and there he perfected his Vaikunthiya Bhakti. So this is called Shastra Avadharanamayi. Means your very faith is solely supported by these Shastras. But the other kind of Bhakti is called Lok Mulak Raganuga Bhakti. Means devotion which is characterized by greed, to follow in the footsteps of the Vrajavasis. Like one, he might think, oh, I want to serve Krishna like Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, sometimes she even twists Krishna's ear. And she's taking him on her lap and she's feeding him. She's feeding him butter. She's breastfeeding him. Sometimes she's speaking all these nice stories to Krishna. Like one time, Yashoda, she's speaking about the Ramayana to Krishna. There she's telling Krishna that one day, Ram was sent away to the forest by his father. And when he was in the forest with Sita and Lakshman, then while Ram and Lakshman were away, this demon Ravan came and he took Sita away. And as soon as Krishna heard this pastime, and as soon as he heard Sita being taken away by Ram, Krishna immediately jumped up from his mother's lap and he started shouting. And Baldev, Lakshman, come quickly! Sita's being taken away, we have to go and rescue her. Come quickly, come quickly. So Krishna was now completely absorbed in the mood of Ram. And then Mother Yashoda is thinking, what is this? My boy, why is he behaving like Ram? And again she catches him and she makes him sit on. Sit down. She makes him sit on her lap. And again she starts speaking the Ramayana. You see, you can imagine, Mother Yashoda is speaking all these wonderful stories to her son, who's God himself, who's Bhagavan himself, but still she's speaking. Why? Because of a natural motherly love and affection. So in this way here also, it is being said that when a sadhak listens to such leelas, then he'll think, I want to stay, I want to serve Krishna like Mother Yashoda. I want to serve Krishna like the Sakhas. I want to serve Krishna like the Gopis. This is such high-class greed. But still, you must not take it cheaply. You must not take it cheaply. Like, you might think, I want to serve Krishna like the Gopis, so I'll start behaving like a Gopi. No, I'll start dressing like a Gopi. I'll start speaking like a Gopi. This is not good. You should hide it. If you have any of those powers, you must hide it within yourself. You must not behave like that. You put a nose ring and you start growing hair, you start putting lipstick. No. Like you see, men putting lipstick is very strange. Men putting lipstick and men dressing up, wearing skirts, going here and there. No. So no, this is not good. You must have that mood. And I want to follow in the footsteps, not try to imitate. One is called Anukaran and one is called Anusaran. Anukaran means to imitate and Anusaran means to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. Because what does Rupa Goswami said? He says, Seva sadhaka rupena, siddha rupena chatrahi, tad bhava lipsuna karya, vraja lokanu sarataha. So you see here, vraja lok anu sarataha. Anusarataha means what? To be under the anukatya of the Rajavasis. This is the meaning. When you say Anya Bilashita Shunyam, Kyana Karmani Namutam, Anukulyena. When you say Anukulyena, Krishna Anushilanam, and you see here there's Anu. Anu means what? Means continuous. And Anu can also mean Anukatya. Be under the guidance of the Rajavasis continuously. Don't imitate them. Rather be under their guidance. Follow in their footsteps. Now, Raja Lokanu Sarataha. This is what is being told here. They said that Tishtan Rajeta Anuragi Jananugami means follow the Anuragi Jans. Always stay in Braj, follow them. Stay in Braj means not just by your mind, but also by your body. No, like sometimes it is said that if you cannot stay in Braj by your body, then you should stay there by your mind. But actually Rupa Goswami is saying that you must stay here by your body as well. Not just by your mind. No. Like you see the 6 Goswamis, when they were sent by Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan, did they leave Vrindavan and go anywhere else? Did they leave? No, they never left Vrindavan. Like you see Jiva Goswami, when he was called by the king of Agra to come and settle this debate between who is greater, the Ganga or the Yamuna, Jiva Goswami did not even want to leave Vrindavan. He said, no, I've taken Kshetra Sannyas, I'll never leave Braj. Then anyhow they requested him, falling at his feet, Prabhu, kindly, you have to come and settle this debate, mediate this debate. Then Jiva Goswami said, all right, I'll come there, but I have to be back by night. So they arranged all these horses, and he went there in the day to Agra, and he came back by night. So you see, none of the Goswamis ever left Braj and never left Vrindavan. So by body also you must stay here. Why? What is the necessity of staying in the Dham by the body? What is the advantage? You must consider this. What is the advantage? Because by staying here, naturally, spontaneously, the dust of the Dham will cover you from head to toe. Is it not? No. Even if you're staying in your room, automatically the dust of Braj will come. Even if you don't want to take this dust. Now, normally we always hear in Harikatha, take this dust, smear it all over your head, on your body, everywhere, smear it. But a person may think, oh, how can I put this dust all over my body? I don't want to do this. But still, the nature of Dham is such that even if he's walking on the streets, automatically some wind will start blowing on him and the dust of the Braj will cover him. Like even here, when you're sitting here, sometimes you see the wind blowing on you. This wind is coming from where? It's coming from the Yamuna. Now the wind is like going over the Yamuna. It's carrying like the fragrance of the Yamuna. It's carrying these droplets of the Yamuna, water droplets, and it's blowing on you. So how fortunate we are. Even the wind blowing here in the Dham is coming from the Yamuna. Even the dust is covering us. Anywhere you go, they'll give you Mahaprasad. Anywhere you go, Radhe 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 Sham. You see the advantage you get of staying in the Dham, you will not get anywhere else. This is the unfaltering truth of staying in the Dham. Because even if you stay in another place, still will you get that same natural absorption in thinking about the Dham? What do you think, Rushikananda? You're staying in Russia, will you get that same benefit of staying here or will you be staying there? No. Of course, if a high-class devotee like Gurudev goes to Russia, still that place is not different from Vrindavan. But still, no. What do you want? Stay there or stay here? Stay here. Naturally. Naturally you stay where the devotees. Naturally you're there where the Kirtan is going on. Naturally you go where there's Harikatha is going on. Naturally you want to be under the guidance of the Rasik Tattva Vaishnava. So the Dham cannot be underestimated. But still, sometimes even if you have to leave the Dham, like sometimes Mahaprabhu has given this order, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna. Gar jao mage piksha, Bolo Krishna, Marge Krishna, Karo Krishna Siksha. Sometimes if you even have to go preaching here and there, still, even then you must think you're always in the Dham. You must never think that I've left the Dham. So this is like the test for the preacher. You know, when a preacher is out there, preaching in different countries, preaching in different places, he must always think I've not even left the Dham. He must think I'm always in the Dham But still anyhow, for following the order of Guru and Vaishnavas, I'm here. But once he thinks I'm out of the Dham and he's in Maya, then like Swami Maharaj, you see, when he left Vrindavan, he went to preach in all these different countries. Not for a moment did he ever think that I've left Vrindavan. Not for a moment. Like if you see, if you read Swami Maharaj's diary, like Swami Maharaj, he would write down in his diary, every day he would write down some notes in his diary. Like they published that diary recently. In that diary, he has written that, oh, now I'm in New York City. They say this city is like one of the greatest cities in the world. This New York City. But still he says, my mind, my heart is always hankering after that small village. It's always hankering after that Vrindavan. I don't feel like I'm here now. I always feel I'm there in Vrindavan. So if your mind is always there in Vrindavan, then automatically the rasa of Vrindavan will also enter your heart. It's not far away. This is called low-mind bhakti. This is called greed. In Vrindavan there is a Shastra Vadharanamai. Shastra means what? Bhagavan, he is very great, I am very fallen. My duty is to surrender unto him and worship his lotus feet. This is called Shastra Vadharanamai. Like if you go to South India, there you must have seen. There is so much of this Shastra Vadharanamai. There's so much fear, so much like awe and reverence there. Every time you go to the temple there, or everyone is standing in line all the way and having darshan of Arati there. And they're reciting the Vishnu Sahasranam. Very famous in South India. But here in Braj, you see, they're addressing Krishna in so many nice names. No, sometimes even they're addressing Krishna, oh chor, makan chor, oh you thief, who's always stealing butter. Oh you, who's always stealing the clothes of the gopis. So many names they address Krishna. But in Vaikuntapuram do they wear a dress? Bhagavan in the same way as they do here. Right? There is Shastra Vadharanamai. Like we see, when Sanatana Goswami went to Mathura, there he saw these two boys playing. And this lady was cooking khichdi. And what was she doing? When she was stirring this khichdi, she was chewing on a neem twig. She was chewing on this neem twig. And then she was using that same twig to stir the khichdi. We may think, oh, there's Juta, that lady, she didn't care about anything, the Brahmani lady. She was chewing on it, she was stirring it. And Sanatana Goswami was thinking, what is this? And then we see those boys, they were so hungry for that khichdi. They were sitting there like, mother, give us that khichdi. We're so hungry. Kindly give us that. Bhagavan is so hungry for that khichdi. But in another place, you see, Pujari, he is ringing the bell. He's chanting so many mantras. He's putting the asana there. Bhagavan is sitting down. He's ringing the bell, he's reciting. And there's no guarantee even if Bhagavan is come and eaten what he is offering. There's no guarantee also. But here you see, the same lady is offering this khichdi and stirring this pot, and Bhagavan wants to grab that. Wants to grab it and the other hand, nothing. Like once one Pujari was telling me, like I was telling him how to offer. I was asking him, can you teach me how to offer? He said, no, just put a plate there. Just put a plate there. Go inside, you leave the plate there. Then I said, what else am I supposed to do? You just take some flour and throw one flour. Maybe he's following Raganuga Bhakti now, I don't know. I'm not criticizing. Maybe he's following Raganuga Bhakti. And I said, like, just take one flour. And he said, and you say, Bhagavan, you are mine, I am yours. And you put that flour there. And he said, you take one chamar and you make sure no flies sit there and you just wave there. And I said, what are the mantras? And he said, you chant the Mahamantra. I said, you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I don't know his bhav. What is his bhav? If his bhav is really in that mood, that clean, then that's very commendable. It's very good. But if he's just lazy and he doesn't even want to chant the mantras, if his mood is not proper, then what is the use of even offering in the first place? So therefore, anything you do, you must have that bhav. And then the chesta. Chesta means the honor. And then there's the bhav, the underlying mood. So here you see that lady, she was having so much love, so much affection, that when Sanatana Goswami told her that you must have a bath, and then you must cook. Oh Mataji, he said, And they requested her, the next time you must be a little more careful. Then she said, all right, Baba, I'll do the same. The next day when she had a bath, she was like very careful. And the two boys, they were saying, Mother, kindly feed us something, we're so hungry. Give us something to eat. You haven't fed us since morning. Then Sanatana Goswami realized, what have I done? Oh, this lady, she was cooking with so much love, and I told her, now she has to be more careful, this, that. Now these two boys are so hungry. So this is greed. This is this Bhavamai Seva. So Srila Chakravarti Thakur tells us that the only method to give happiness to Krishna is Krishna Bhakti Bhavita Mati. To have a consciousness infused with the flavors of loving service to Krishna. A fortunate person may enter this Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotion. So you see here, what is this Raganuga? Rag means what? Rag means this intense, loving attachment to please Krishna. Like anyhow I'll have to please him. You have this thirst. This is called Rag. I want to please him anyhow. Only this Rag can make Krishna happy. Not this Aishwarya. One can have so much opulence, he can have so many other things, but there's no mood, then is Krishna happy. On the other hand, one even doesn't have anything. Like one may have a huge temple. He may have so many facilities inside the temple. Temple is so opulent, he has lakhs of rupees. But is Krishna happy by his service? That's one thing. On the other hand, one person, he's staying inside one small room. He's staying inside like one small building. Even he might not be staying in a building, he might be staying in a hut. There's no electricity inside his room. There's nothing to even offer, like bhoga. He wants to offer some bhoga for Krishna. There's nothing, he doesn't even have the money. He has to do Madhukari Bhiksha. But still, his bhav is proper. Krishna is surely taking from his hands. So therefore we see, he only wants that mood, that love. If that opulence is helping one in the Raganuga Bhakti, then that is proper. Or even that Aishwarya opulence is like an impediment, like an obstacle. So in this case, Krishna means Vrajendra Nandan Krishna, the son of the king of Braj. So here whenever we speak of Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati, this Krishna that we're speaking of is not Dwarkadish Krishna. It's not Mathuranath Krishna. This is Vrindavan Krishna. Because we know in Dwaraka, Krishna is Purna. In Mathura, he is Purnatar. And in Braj, he is Purnatam. Means he is most complete in Braj. He is complete in Dwaraka, he is more complete in Mathura. And in Braj, he is most complete. So this is the Krishna that is being implied to here. Not any other form of Krishna. And Bhakti here means Bhav Bhakti, which then matures into Prema Bhakti. So this is called Prema Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati. Means that person whose every pore is saturated with Krishna Bhakti Ras, whose intelligence has become one with that Bhakti Ras. His intelligence has become suffused with that Bhakti Ras, so much so that he cannot think of anything else except this Bhakti Ras. He will not care even for the Shastras. What does Raghunath Das Goswami say? Na dharmam, na adharmam. Shrutigana niraktim kilakuru. He said, don't care for dharma and don't care for adharma also in the Shastras. Now one can say, how is this? How can he say don't care for even adharma, only for dharma? Because adharma naturally, like irreligiosity, should be avoided. But what about dharma? Dharma cannot be avoided now. But what is Raghunath Das Goswami saying? He said, na dharma adharma shrutikana niraktim kilakuru. He said, don't care for this dharma and adharma. Just serve Radha Krishna. Don't care for this also. Why? Because even this dharma can create so many obstacles. Because in this world, you say, dharma means what? Dharma means you should serve your parents. You should serve society. You should serve this nation. You should serve Varna and Ashram. This is dharma. But ultimately, Krishna said in the Gita that even give up this dharma. Like the gopis. The gopis even gave up that dharma. They gave up their husbands. In the Shastras it is said that if you give up the service of your husbands, it is very, very sinful for a woman, for a lady. For a lady, according to Vedic culture, she gives up the service of her husband, she'll even have to go to hell. Her duty is to serve her husband. This is dharma. But the gopis, they even like kicked that dharma away. They didn't care for that dharma. You must serve your parents. This is also dharma. Like you see Shravan Kumar. Shravan Kumar, what would he do? He would carry his old mother and father on his shoulders. No. He would carry them on his shoulders and he would go everywhere. Going to all the different pilgrimage places, all over India. Until the day he died, he served his mother and father. Shravan Kumar. So how can one even give up that service of parents? No. Like during Prabhupada's Associate Thakur's time, and so many people started becoming brahmacharis, sannyasis, vanaprasthis, so many parents, they came to Prabhupada and they said, what are you doing? You are destroying our family. All our children, they're taking saffron cloth, they're becoming brahmacharis, they're becoming sannyasis. How can you do this? This is totally against dharma. In which scripture has it been said that one should give up his parents and come and serve? Which scripture has it been said? Then Prabhupada said, now you will not realize, but later you will realize, he said. Now you will not realize how much I have helped you, but later you will realize. So much so, Prabhupada's preaching was so powerful that even when some of his disciples wanted to get their daughters married, some people were so hostile towards Prabhupada, so antagonistic towards him, that they made sure that even their daughters would not get married. So they opposed Prabhupada. Like Prabhupada, he had one disciple called Sanatan Prabhu. This Sanatan Prabhu, he later became Bhaktivedanta Giri Maharaj. He took sannyas along with Swami Maharaj in 1959. So this Muni Maharaj, he was the one who gave money to Parangurudev to buy this Keshavji Gaudi amount. So this Muni Maharaj, once he had his daughter was supposed to marry some person, some boy, and everything was ready. The marriage hall was booked, so much food was cooked, everything. But then on the day of the marriage, when this boy who was supposed to marry this girl, when his parents found out that he is a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, immediately they cancelled the marriage. On the day of the marriage, he cancelled it. He said no. He said, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, we don't believe in him. He's doing many things which are against the Shastras, which are against Dharma. And they called off the marriage. Now I can imagine how devastated he'll be. You're supposed to have your daughter married, you invited everyone, and then he says, no, we won't marry. But still, that person, Sanatan Prabhu, did he ever lose his nishtha in Prabhupada? Did he ever think, oh, because of Prabhupada all these things are happening? Not for a moment did he ever think like that. What did he do? All that food that had been cooked there in that marriage hall, he took all that food, placed it in a bullock cart, 3-4 bullock carts, and he brought all the food to the temple. And all the brahmacharis are so happy, oh, today there's a huge feast. And he was so happy, he was smiling. Sanatan Prabhu, he didn't even care, he was smiling. And then someone told Prabhupada, this is what happened. They cancelled the marriage. His wife, his daughter, everyone's crying. But Sanatan Prabhu, he's not worried, he's very happy, but still they're all crying. And Prabhupada, when he heard this, he said, such a society should be destroyed, he said. 3 times he said, it should be destroyed, he said. Such atheists. And eventually that girl, she got married to a very high class person, very highly qualified person. Some boy, he found out what happened and he came to Sanatan Prabhu, this girl's father, and he said, oh, I know what happened, I'll marry your daughter. He said, you give your daughter to me, I'll marry her. And then she married him. She found someone even more qualified. Now, this is the test. So Prabhupada, he says, such kind of people who oppose me so much in preaching, later they will realize what have come to me this world. That even when I told them to give up such dharma, still they were actually rendering the greatest service to their parents, the greatest service to their society, to their nation, everything. Greatest service. So here, therefore, it is being said that this Krishna Bhakti Ras implies that intelligence has transcended all kinds of dharma. And then it is only one pointedly focused on pleasing Krishna. So this mood may only be attained by the mercy of Bhagavan. So you see here, you cannot have this mood by your own sadhana. It can only be had by the mercy of Bhagavan, especially by the mercy of his devotees. Because even Bhagavan's mercy is dependent on the mercy of his bhaktas. So there in Bhagavatam it has been said, Satam prasangam mamavirya samvidam bhavanti hrid karna rasayana katha tad joshana asya apavarga vartamani shraddharatir bhaktir anupravishyati. So in the assembly of pure devotees, powerful discussions illuminating my glories, they are like nectar for both the ears and the heart. By hearing these narrations, one quickly advances on the path of liberation. First he develops Shraddha, then Vrati, and finally Prema Bhakti. So wherever Harikatha is being spoken, especially by these very advanced devotees, or by these very advanced sadhus, that Harikatha is like giving life. It's infused with this Virya Shakti, with this potency. It gives life to one. Like we see normally, like a person may think that, oh, I only want to listen from high class sadhus, not from anyone else. Like now when we're speaking Harikatha, there's one devotee, he's always saying that, oh, I only want to listen to Shabda Brahma, all these others, whatever they're speaking is not Shabda Brahma. He always has the Shabda Brahma complaint. Since like 10 years, I'm always hearing that complaint. Oh, Shabda Brahma, why these others are speaking? But still, you see, all of the others are not speaking the Shabda Brahma. What he says is like proper. It's not something improper. Still, we're not speaking Shabda Brahma, but still, at least some form of guidance is being followed. Some form of anugatha is being followed. So therefore, whatever words are being spoken under that guidance is to some point is also effective. It cannot be said that it is effective completely, in a full-fledged way. But at least to some point it is effective. No, it's not that it's completely useless in every way. No. Like we see once, like one devotee, he asked Gurudev, that Gurudev, you're telling us to do Nam Sankirtan, but whatever Kirtan we are doing is Namaparad. It's not even Shuddha Nama. So what is the use of people listening to our Kirtan? No, we do Kirtan every day, like 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And whatever we're chanting is Namaparad. No, so why should even people sit there and listen to our Namaparad? No. What's the point of us chanting Namaparad? So they asked Gurudev this question. Gurudev said, still, even though you're doing Kirtan and even though the Nam you're chanting may be Namaparad, because you're doing this Kirtan under Anugatya, under the direction of me, it will not be Namaparad, he said. It will be something more, he said. Not just Namaparad, it will be something more. So anything we do, like speaking Harikatha or like doing Kirtan, if we have that mood, that I'm doing it under the order of Guru Vaishnavas, under that guidance, then it is not something that is thoroughly useless. It has some potency. It's not like useless. So therefore, you must make the best use of a bad bargain. If you don't have the chance to hear from like a perfect sadhu or pure devotees, then whoever it may be, still like at least you must lend your ears to a certain extent and listen from them. Whoever it may be. Like we see even like sometimes, like recently I was listening to some classes where Gurudev, he had this small boy speak. One small boy, he was only like 12 or 13 years old, I think. That boy, his name, I think, was Srivas Dasu Samvat. Some boy, Recently I was listening, like Gurudev was in Jammu Kashmir. There he had this small boy speak. This boy was speaking so nicely. Only 12 years old he was. He was speaking so much tattva, so much siddhant. Gurudev hadn't speaking Hindi. So even if they want small children to speak, and if children are speaking some broken words, they're so happy. Then you see, at least some potency is there. So therefore, wherever such Harikatha is being spoken, especially by the pure sadhus, then lend your ears there. So this Bhav Bhakti is received by two methods. By the mercy of the devotee and by the mercy of Bhagavan. The mercy of Bhagavan strictly follows the mercy of the devotee. This is the very reason why Bhagavan Sri Krishna descended in the form of the topmost devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and poured his mercy everywhere. Don't think that Bhagavan's mercy is independent from the mercy of the devotee. It is completely dependent on the mercy of his devotee. Don't think that there is no need for the pure devotee, I can just bypass him and go to Bhagavan. What need is there for Sri Guru? Guru is just a mediator, he's like a third person party. No need for a third person party. I'll go directly to Bhagavan. No, why should I depend on him? No, don't do this. Because Bhagavan, he is present in the heart of his devotee. And what will that devotee do? He'll place that Bhagavan from his heart into your heart as well. No. When Sri Guru is giving you Diksha mantras, or when he is speaking Harikatha, then he is giving you this Sambandha Gyan. What is this Sambandha Gyan? This relationship with Bhagavan. He's giving it via those mantras, via those instructions, via his association, his Sangha. No. But if you try on your own, then what can you achieve? If you try on your own and if you're sincere, then you'll eventually have that Sukruti to have the association of a pure devotee in your future. Then you'll have this Agyat Sukruti. Agyat Sukruti means Sukruti which is being collected unknowingly. And as a result of that Sukruti, then you'll have the association of a pure devotee, and then you'll eventually have the association of Sri Bhagavan himself. So on both sides you see the association of a pure devotee is indispensable. Means what? Indispensable means what? It is thoroughly needed. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. You cannot bypass the devotees. You cannot bypass Bhagavan's bhaktas. No. Because anything we've known about Bhagavan is through his devotees. Any Harikatha we've heard, any Kirtan we're doing is known by him, by his bhaktas. Not that Bhagavan himself has directly come and spoken his katha to us. No, it's through his devotees. So here we see even Narottam Thakur, he has always prayed to Lokanath Goswami. Kabe Lokanath more sangalaya jabe, Shri Ruper Pad Padme more samadhi. He's saying, oh Gurudev, when will you bestow upon me your mercy and offer me to the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Goswami? In the same way, Kaviraj Goswami is praying, Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Jarash Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishna Das. He's saying, I Krishna's Kaviraj always fall at the feet of Rupa and Raghunath. And I'm always praying for this Bhakti Rasa. Why? Because who is Rupa Goswami? Who is Raghunath Das Goswami? Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. And Raghunath Das Goswami is Rati Manjari. Srimati Radhika has given her service to them completely. If anyone wants to serve Radharani, they'll have to do so under the guidance of Rup and Rati Manjari. They cannot bypass them and serve Radharani like by their own. No? Like you see, even Ananga Manjari, the younger sister of Srimati Radhika, even she is like a Yuteshwari. Means even she is like Lalita and Vishaka. Now, even she is like, has her own youth. But Rup and Rati Manjari, they have their own gun. There's a difference between a youth and a gun. Yutha means what? Yutha means a certain section, a certain category of Sakhis who are serving Krishna. But gun is a subsection, is a subgroup. Means it's a section of a section. So in this Yutha of Srimati Radhika, Radharani is the Yuteshwari. And there's the gun. There's Lalita gun, Vishaka gun, everyone. And still under that gun, under that group, there's another group. We're all serving. Rupa Manjari, she is serving under the guidance of Lalita. And there are certain Manjaris serving under the guidance of Vishaka. There are certain Manjaris serving under the guidance of different Sakhis. But still, the priority is being given to Lalita Devi. Like once, there was one small girl. She was coming to Gurudev and she was saying, this small girl, her name was Vishaka. The small girl, her name was Vishaka Dasi. The small girl, she would come to Gurudev and she'd say, my name is Vishaka Dasi and I come from Uchagaon. This girl, it's a small girl. So Gurudev, when he heard the small girl say this, then he'd become very happy. He said, oh really, your name is Vishaka and you're coming from Uchagaon? He said, yes, yes. Gurudev was very happy. Then one day, like some devotees, they told this girl that actually Vishaka was not born in Uchagaon. Lalita was born in Uchagaon. Vishaka was born in Kamai Karela. So you must tell Gurudev that my name is Vishaka Dasi and I am from Kamai Karela, which is the birthplace of Vishaka. So then when this girl went to Gurudev and said, my name is Vishaka Dasi and I am from Kamai Karela, and Gurudev, then he said, what are you saying? Yes, yesterday you told me that from Uchagaon. And this girl, she didn't know what to say. She was only following what the others said. Gurudev said, no, always say that I am from Uchagaon. He said, Because our duty is to always be there with Lalita, he said, and serve under her guidance. So you see Gurudev is Nishtha towards the service of Lalita. Also towards Vishaka. No, it's not that Gurudev is like thinking Lalita is greater than Vishaka. Vishaka Devi is also there. Lalita Devi is also there. But especially some inclination is there. So it is seen. So therefore here, Roop Manjari and Prati Manjari, they serve under the guidance of Lalita. And certain Manjaris serve under the guidance of Vishaka. Certain Manjaris serve under the guidance of Tungavidya. Certain Manjaris serve under the guidance of Indulekha. Some serve under Sudevi. Some under Rangadevi. Some under Champakalata. Some under Chitra. So you see how many groups are there? Millions and billions of groups. And even among there, so many Sakhis of Srimati Radhika. So many. Like sometimes when these devotees, they receive Harinam, then like in some classes I'm hearing, Madhav Maharaj and Rajanath Prabhu, they have these devotees stand up when they're announcing their names. When they're announcing their names, like Gurudev, they tell their names to Gurudev. Like, oh, your name is Dhanya Dasi. And Gurudev says, oh, Dhanya, she's a very intimate Sakhi of Srimati Radhika. Then one more devotee would have this name Kamala Dasi. Again Gurudev would say, oh, she's a very intimate Sakhi of Srimati Radhika, Kamala. And then he'd say, oh, there's another devotee, her name is Sumati. Oh, Sumati is another dear Sakhi of Srimati Radhika. There's another Sakhi. Her name is like Brajasundari. Oh, Brajasundari is like another dear Sakhi of Srimati Radhika. So you see, there's so many Sakhis of Srimati Radhika. The 8 Sakhis are the most prominent, Ashtasakhis. But besides them, there are so many more, innumerable, uncountable. And all these Sakhis, they have their own groups of Manjaris of Srimati Radhika. And they're all serving Srimati Radhika. Similarly, just as Srimati Radhika has her Swapaksha gopis, the Vipaksha gopis, like Chandravali, Padma, Saibya, they have millions and millions of groups and millions of Sakhis and millions of Manjaris. Even Chandravali has her own Manjaris. And similarly, there are the Tatashta, like Bhadra. She has millions of Sakhis, millions of groups. Then Suhrit is Shyamala. She has millions of Sakhis and millions of groups. So all these things are inconceivable. Shatakoti Gopi. There are like hundreds and millions of crores of gopis. This is only an estimate to give us an idea. Actually, they are unlimited. But still, to give us an idea, it has been said Shatakoti Gopi. So you see how the spiritual world is. But especially, what is our goal? Is to be under the guidance of Roop and Prati Manjari and to serve under the guidance of Lalita and Vishaka as well. Not that we minimize the position of any of the associates. We also serve, but still our Nishtha is seen. Like, at a certain point, all this is realized when we have Swarup Siddhi. So Bhagavan can give Bhakti, but not a mood of service to him. Along with Bhakti, the devotee can also give his own bhav and his own personal realizations. So you see here, Bhagavan, he is Vishaya Vigraha. Because he is tasting Bhakti Rasa all the time, he cannot give his own service to it. How can he give that? It's not possible. Because Bhagavan is the object of devotional service. How can he tell someone how you should serve me? He cannot say. Because that he is not in a position to say. No. Why did Krishna appear as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and why was he there in the Gambhira? In the presence of Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda? What was the need? Why was he in the association of Lalita and Vishaka there? Because Krishna in his own Leelas of Braj, he could not realize how Radharani is serving him. He had no clue. He was clueless. He had no idea. So therefore he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he was always in the association of his bhaktas. Listening to this katha, where they all would sing kirtans and they would like give him this realization, Vigyan, this realization of how Radharani and the Sakhis would serve him. Like Raghunath Das Goswami, when he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for some instructions, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't know anything. You go to Swarup. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this, was he lying? Was he lying when he said, I don't know anything? He wasn't lying, he was actually speaking the truth when he said, I don't know anything. Because how does he know how to serve himself? Lalita and Vishaka, they know how they serve. So he sent Raghunath there. to Swarup Ramananda. Go and learn from him. He knows. Like we see Pradyumna Brahmachari, he came, Mahaprabhu, he said, I want to listen to Harikatha from you. Mahaprabhu said, I don't know anything. Whatever Harikatha I've heard from Rai Ramananda. You go there and listen to him. So Mahaprabhu saying this, I don't know anything, he's actually speaking the truth. His bhaktas know more than his own self. So the same thing is being said here, that the devotee, he can give his own bhavs, he can give his own realizations. No? And he can enrich that sadhak's heart. Enrich means what? He can give his own realizations in the heart of that sadhak. This is called Guru Kripa. This is called Sadhu Kripa. This is called the mercy of Sri Guru, the mercy of the sadhus. And by accepting these bhavs, it no longer remains difficult for one to attain bhakti. So you see, now bhakti is so far, we cannot even think of bhakti. It's inconceivable. But by the mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnavas, this same bhakti will become conceivable. Means, it will be within our grasp. It is not something very far, it is something very near to us. We can have it. In the same way that sugar permeates every atom of a rasgulla, similarly every pore of the body of a Vraja Rasa Rasi is completely saturated with Prema Bhakti Rasa. See, when a pure Bhakta is sitting, his whole body has become transcendental. And this Krishna Bhakti Rasa is emanating from every single pore of his body. So powerful his presence is. Even if you just sit there, even if like you don't like speak to him, even if you're just there in his presence, automatically those rays of prema will enter your heart as well. Automatically. And that effulgence, that bhav, those sentiments, that rasa will all come and touch your heart as well. At every moment, the Rasik Vaishnava continuously distributes the most purifying sweet discussions of Radha and Krishna's pastimes. His mind, intelligence, affection, character, they are all completely filled with Krishna's Rasmai Bhakti. Every step he takes, he is only relishing this Krishna Bhakti Ras. Every breath he takes, you can imagine, with every single breath he takes, he is relishing this prem, this bhav. Only when you come to this stage, you can hope to go to Golok Vrindavan and serve Radha and Krishna directly. Not before this stage. This is called what? This is called Swarup Siddhi. This is called Bhav Bhakti. This is when one gradually starts to realize his Swarup. So by associating with these Rasik Bhaktas, greed is awakened to serve Krishna with prem. If due to that greed, one has to give up his very life, Bhagavan will indeed become dearer to him than his own existence. You see here, if he has that greed, then to have the darshan of Krishna, he is ready to give up his own life. He said, without the darshan of Krishna, I cannot stay alive in this world for a single moment. I want to give up my life. When you speak here of the darshan of Krishna, it means Radha and Krishna. Because Krishna is never alone. So how much are we feeling that separation? How much are we feeling it? How much are we thinking within our hearts? I have to have the darshan of Krishna. I have to have it. This is the meaning of sadhan. Sadhan means what? Means you're aiming for bhav. And bhav means what? You're aiming for prem. If you don't have this desire, if you don't have this mood, then what are you doing? What kind of sadhana are you doing? It is not even sadhana bhas, semblance of sadhana. It is something beyond. So, Bhagavan will indeed become dearer to him than his own existence. We all possess this prema bhakti, this prema ras in our hearts, but now it is dormant. It is not awakened. It is by hearing discussions saturated with bhakti ras that this prem will be awakened. So the more and more we do sadhana, the more and more we do kirtan, the more and more we do harikatha, then gradually this bhav within us will be awakened. Right now, our heart has so many holes. Holes means what? We're listening so much, we're doing so much, but everything that is going within our hearts, it's all coming out of those holes. But still, you must not be hopeless. Like if you're having a bath, normally when you're having a shower, then when you're like taking some water and putting it away head, all that water is going down the drain. It's all going down the drain. None of that water is like clinging to your body. None of that water is like remaining on your body. It's all going down the drain. But still, however it may be so, still some drops of water are still on your body. That's why you feel refreshed. After having a bath, why do you feel refreshed? Because some drops of water still in your body. Similarly, although we are doing so much sadhana and everything seems to be going away, still something is still clinging to our hearts. Something like 0.00001%. And that 0.00001% will take you all the way to Golokam and Sarnada. Only that 0.000. Therefore, it is by hearing such discussions that this prem will be awakened. The devotee hears Bhakti Shastras and cultivates his Krishna consciousness by following the instructions given in them. Thus he becomes immersed in this Bhakti Rasa. So you see here, especially in the purport, it is said that the devotee is always absorbed in cultivating Bhakti Shastras. Bhakti Shastras means what? What kind of Shastras? No. Can you name any of the Bhakti Shastras? Name one. Anyone? Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Bhakti Shastras. Among Puran. One more name? Bhakti Shastra. Name? You don't know even one Bhakti Shastra. One name? Name? Huh? Which one? Gopal Champu. One more? Vilap Kusumanjali. Come on, man. At least one you say no. Tell me one Bhakti Shastra. Huh? Huh? Geet Govind, you see, that is like, that is also like one of the greatest of all Bhakti Shastras. Jayavadharma, see, Jayavadharma also very high class. I'm not leaving you, I'm coming back to you. You'll have to say one at least. Say one. Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he knows, but he's very shy. The list goes on completely, no? The endless list. So therefore here it is being said, read the Bhakti Shastras. Like sometimes I'd ask Gurudev this question, like, should we read the Mahabharata? I said, Gurudev, we want to read the Mahabharata. Gurudev said, no need. Said, no need to read the Mahabharata. Because in the Mahabharata, if you see, there's like so much politics. No. There's so much like this, that, you know. You see, in the Mahabharata, there's no Bhakti as much. Mahabharata was only written by Vyasadeva because he was thinking that I'll have to capture the minds of all these people who have no ruchi in the Shastras, who have no taste in the Shastras. So I'll have to attract them anyhow. So he wrote the Mahabharata. You see so much fighting there in the Mahabharata. You know, one Kshatriya is cursing another Kshatriya. I curse you, I do this to you. One person is kidnapping the wife of another person and they're fighting with each other. One person is like taking the kingdom of another person. If you read the Mahabharata, there's only this. Only the Gita is the essence of the Mahabharata. But still, all these Bhakti Shastras, they're so powerful. Like all these Bhakti Shastras we just spoke about. So if you listen to these Bhakti Shastras even a little, if you read them even a little, then you see this Bhakti Rasa that is present within these Shastras will also appear in your heart. That day is not very far. So it's Rai Ramananda Samvat. This is also one such Bhakti Shastra. So all these Bhakti Shastras are like gems. Priceless gems. We must make use of all these Shastras. So we'll stop here and another day here. Now Rai Ramananda Prabhu is going to speak on Dasya Prema. Love of a servant. Lord Krishna. Stop. Shri Rai Ramananda Samvat ki jai. Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Saparshad Shri Sachinandan Gaur. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Shri Gurudev Manta Koti Vaishnav. Samved Shri Gaur. Dai Gaur. Vancha Kalpataru Vishwa. Atitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnav.